Sandra! Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual life, and my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form. In a moment, I'm going to be talking to you about how to spot a weak and insecure guy, basically, and avoid like plague. But before we get into that, if you don't know who I am Sandra Mary, author of this awesome book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexuality.com, the founder of Asexualized Academy, and the author of this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook, How to Manage Fibromyalgia to Have Less Pain, More Energy and Feel Happier like a Superhero Rock Star. Let's get into it. So, how to spot a weak and insecure guy. You've got to avoid these type of guys like the plague. So I decided to go back on mingle2.com, which isn't for asexuals. It's a dating site predominantly of which is made up of sexual guys and females. Obviously a lot of heterosexuals on there, particularly a lot of people that are out of sex. So I get this message 4 days ago from this guy on here, because I'm not on here all the time. And I get this message, and so it said, "Hey Sandra," and he did look. He was foreign, and he looked not bad looking, right, in and of himself. But I've seen better looking guys. But basically, his whole profile was full of pictures showing off his muscly body, and trying to show how strong he was physically as a man, right? Now, the type of guys that have to look so physically like strong, you know, they literally, since I messaged him, which I'm going to tell you what I messaged him, he's deactivated his account. Like, probably because he knew that the pictures are ridiculous, right? So basically, the guys who really need to show off their physique and how many muscles they've got to attract a woman, basically, are guys often that are very insecure and very weak, because they feel a need to basically thrust their physique at a woman in order to accumulate attraction towards them. And something else they said in their profile, which they've removed all the photographs of there now, is law number 4, talk as little as possible. And just by having that law on there, that I knew this is not a good guy, this is a weak guy. A guy who is strong will want to be able to talk to a woman a lot. They'll want to be able to express themselves, for the woman to be able to express themselves. They'll want to communicate with you. They'll want, or you know, this guy's into women, but obviously there might be guys into guys watching this, you know. A guy who really wants to have a serious committed relationship, you know, will be into chatting because he'll have nothing to hide. He'll be into open, honest communication. The guy who creates a law like that, saying talk as little as possible, means he doesn't want any woman to really know the deep heart of him. He doesn't want any woman to know the truth about him. Doesn't want any woman to get close to him, and doesn't want any woman really to have a serious relationship. He just literally wants to thrust his body in order to attract a woman. That's a weak and insecure guy. It's insecure because he can't open his heart to a woman, because he wants to keep it closed, because he can't talk to her. He doesn't want a communicative relationship. Now, in order to have a serious, mature adult relationship, regardless of whatever age you are, you have to be able to openly communicate with the person a lot. You have to be able to express what you want, express what you like, express, you know, yourself within a relationship. And you have to want the other person to be able to do that too. A guy like that is clearly a player and someone who just has no sensibility about him of what a serious committed relationship entails. Maybe, I don't know what's happened to him in his past. Maybe some shit's happened to him in his past, and that's why he doesn't want any woman getting close to his heart. Who knows? Or maybe he just literally is a player after sex. But I find it very interesting that he's now deleted, deactivated all his account. So I said to him about an hour ago, I'm not looking for a relationship involving sex, because clearly his pictures were very geared towards a woman wanting sex as well. Although he didn't show any of his private bits, mostly it was to do with the top being off, but it was all to do with looking at himself and how good looking he was, right? and it said, I put, I'm not looking for a relationship involving sex, and I like a talkative and strong guy. So you wouldn't be suitable for me, but thanks for stopping by my profile. There are lots of very sexual women on here for you, though. So you shouldn't have a problem finding one and getting all the sex you need. Good luck. And he's like, I'm strong, laugh out loud. And then I said, I'm looking for an emotional, sensitive and boundary-driven, strong guy with strong integrity and morals. Not some guy who's physically strong on the outside only. I see through that. And he's like, oh, my bad. And then he deactivated his account. So, you know, he's basically probably doesn't like the fact a woman's told him that, because he's not probably used to a woman actually being so blunt with him and seeing right, you know, I said that I saw right through it. You know, basically that's all he is. Muscles. There's no, you know, I'm not saying he hasn't got a heart and stuff, but clearly he's not going to be prepared to show that to a woman. So all this type of guy is a very insecure and weak guy, because basically he has to show off his physique and his muscles in order to get female attention. And he's not prepared to open his heart to a woman, so he's not looking for that. You know, he's looking, you know, he's being superficial, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. A strong guy is not someone who shows his physique off and, you know, expects women to want that. That's not a strong guy to be in a relationship with long term. It's a guy who's saying, look, I'm so strong physically that. But that's not it. In order to be in a loving, healthy, happy, committed relationship, you want a guy who's strong emotionally for you, strong in a sensitive way, strong in an empathetic way, who is in touch with his feminine essence, not just his macho, masculine essence, right? You want a guy who's got some feminine traits to a certain extent, right? Because if the guy doesn't have any feminine traits whatsoever, if he's all macho man, a woman can't connect to him. This is where most relationships and dating go wrong. It's because the guy needs to have some feminine traits, just like the woman really needs to have some masculine traits. So the masculine type of, I know that a lot of asexuals are, you know, like 10% or, you know, like agender, 10% of trans. So I know this is like very like woo-woo out there, right? And it doesn't matter what gender you actually are, but every type of gender should have some female qualities and some male qualities in order, and especially if you're in sort of having a more conventional relationship where you've got a hetero guy and a hetero female, and, you know, they're both female, male in, you know, so basically the guy has to have some feminine traits so that the female can connect to the guy emotionally, can connect with him, you know, in a deep, meaningful, sensitive heart connection way. And a woman needs to also be able to be without her guy and be able to take care of herself. And that's more manly traits, more like leading your own life and looking after yourself and being independent. So this is how the guys and girls, different genders, can come together more. Because obviously, I know it doesn't matter what gender you're on, and it's fine for you to be any gender. I'm just giving you generalized dating sort of masculine, feminine type of principles here. And basically, a lot of the problem with dating relationships, from my experience of being, you know, like on videos with various traditional dating coaches rather than asexual dating coach that I am, is that you know, they tend to talk about masculine and feminine a lot, but you need to have somewhere in the middle for both people to meet. Otherwise, people don't understand each other. This is why people write like books like Women Are from Venus, Men Are from Mars. Like, they're two completely separate, different beings. But a guy and woman that's got some, you know, opposite traits. So a woman who's got some masculine traits and a man who's got some feminine traits, they can come together in the middle and understand each other while still being their true, authentic self at the same time. This is the best type of relation you want. So if you're looking for a guy in your life, you don't want some weak an insecure guy where basically all they're doing is flashing their body, how strong they physically are with muscles, and they've got nothing else to offer you. And they don't even want to speak to you that much. Do you know what I mean? That's not a very good situation to be in. You really don't want that for yourself. So I just wanted to point that out. You know, it says so, you know, and this guy clearly gone off. The other day, there was an older guy, and I said, you know, that you're not my type. I like younger guys, and he then deleted his picture. Because obviously he's, you know, just because I said I like younger guys doesn't mean to say he's ugly for other people. I just said I'm into younger guys. So he deleted his picture, you know. Again, that guy has obviously got some insecurity issues around his looks. The fact that I just said I'm into younger guys, do you know what I mean? But I don't think he's a bad person, the other guy. I just think, you know, this guy with all the muscles, flashing them around. I mean, literally lifting his top, like, look how good I look in the mirror, you know? And stuff like this, and he expects women probably to fall at his feet. Yet he doesn't want to do any talking because he'd rather just have the physical aspect of a relationship. You know, this isn't a good guy. And I wanted to point this out to you. You don't want someone who's strong physically, but not strong mentally, not strong emotionally, not strong morally. You don't want someone like that, because that type of relationship isn't going to last. It's just going to be a superficial relationship. There's probably going to be quite a lot of arguments, a lot of misunderstandings. The guy's not going to understand you at all, you know, and he's not going to want to understand you if he doesn't want to do any talking, you know. And so that's kind of doomed from the start. So look out for these type of guys. If you're on traditional dating sites with a lot of sexuals, look for someone who's, you know, who's got a more kind and caring profile, someone who's not going around flashing their body all over the place, someone who actually has some integrity, some intelligence, someone who actually wants to communicate. Look for people who've written more in their profile than just hi, you know, someone who's actually told you a bit about themselves, you know, so that you can learn a little bit, you know, about them and see how they respond to your messages. Are they just going to, like, there's one guy on here, and you know, I get quite a lot of guys, and you know what I mean, if I'm on here, and it's like they don't really engage in conversation very much. They'll like say hi, and I'll say hi, and you know, you get the opposite, where some guys don't seem to be in their masculine anymore. They're not really leading the conversation. So traditional masculine is when a guy leads the conversation, keeps it going, right? But some of these guys, all it is hi. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, I say hi back, and then it's like, you know what I mean? There's not much deep, intelligent conversation there. I mean, it is a highly sexual site, so a lot of them are fake accounts, a lot of them are scammers. It's not an asexual account, you know, but I do believe there's a few genuine people on there. And you know, like I said, at the moment, I'm career focused, so I'm not specifically looking for a relationship. I don't want to jump into a relationship. I think, you know, I've got too much going on in my career to worry about that, and to really be deep into that at the moment. But, you know, I wanted to go on there tonight and see if there's any Indian guys, for example. I did actually talk to an Indian guy on there. He's in the UK, 26 years old, but he's studying, and he's doing a master's, and he's going back to India, and he's interested in dating a relationship. And I said, there's no point, because you're going back to do your after you've done your master's, you return to India, aren't you? And he said, yeah. I said, there's no point, because I'm looking for something serious over here, you know, and I don't want marriage. And so he's like, oh, I don't want marriage either. I said, yeah, so you're going back to your country, so there's no point. But he was nice to talk to. I got a more welcome, warm feeling from him, you know. So I wish him the best and everything with his career and everything. He was nice to talk to. So yeah, I kind of got on back on Mingle again for a bit, because I kind of thought, like, I do really like romance. That's my problem. I really love romance and kissing. But I'm not, you know, I'm too I've got too much relationship anxiety to like jump into a relationship with someone. I don't want to just jump into something with someone I don't even know anyway, you know, and I really need to get my career sorted out, you know. I kind of like the romance and the kissing, but at the moment I'm not really, and I long term I would like a serious committed relationship. I'm not really into being that specifically right now. I've got too much going on in my career and stuff. I've got to finish my own course, for example. I've got lots to do. But you know, like any relationship starts with good friendship. So it's important that if you are going to do some dating, which obviously, with it being like the situation is in the world now, it's the best time to actually do some dating. It's the best time to talk to more people online, because more people are online, people you wouldn't usually talk to, because they've got more time on their hands. when they'd usually be going back to their job. You know, obviously when all this is over and they go back to the job, if they start ignoring you then because it's like they've used you, whatever, you don't want that either, you know? Because this guy, I've got another guy on there and he started saying I'm bored. And I'm like, I'm not on here because I'm bored. I'm on here hopefully to find a relationship eventually. You know, I'm a career girl. But he's written back to me a few times. So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so this guy was asking me how long I've been on the app for. I said since January. But he said he is looking for a serious relationship. So, but this guy's British. I don't usually go for British guys, as you know. So yeah, and I don't know, you know, you never know if they're fake or real on here. So, but at least he's talking a bit more nicely. But he starts saying he's bored, and it's like, well, I'm not here because someone's bored, you know, because there's so many people on this app because they're bored. You know, actually, he didn't believe my birth certificate age because I put my birth certificate age on there, and he's like, how old are you? I'm like, well, it says on my profile, but that's my birth certificate age. It has nothing to do with how I live my life. So that was really interesting. So yeah, you know, very, very interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know about these type of guys. Do you know what I mean? It's like when they need women's attention all over their body and they don't want to speak much to women, you know. It's kind of like it shows their insecurities and weaknesses, you know, that there's all this stereotype and myths that, oh, guys need to be strong physically and macho and all this. There isn't a strong guy. I need to put this into perspective once and for all. A strong guy is someone who's got high morals, high integrity, strongly boundary driven. This means he knows when to say no to other women, for example, if you're in, or other guys, if he's into guys, other people, if you're in a relationship with him, right? This is boundary driven. This is not having anyone and everyone come into his life all over him. This is boundary driven, right? You need a guy who wants to be highly communicative with you, who wants to engage in conversation, who wants to keep the conversation going, you know? So this is very, 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 very important that you get someone with integrity. You get someone who wants to communicate and not someone who's just got a body and clearly showing off and that's all he wants to do. A guy who can always lift his top up and stuff is just interested in female attention on his body because he's basically saying that's all I've got to offer a woman. So I've got to flaunt it because that's the only thing I've got. You know, I get loads of guys attracted to me. Even by a head and shoulders shot, when I don't show hardly any bare skin, you know, like I have this bit here is about it. You know, you get women that have got barely any clothes on, and you get people like me, or you get someone like me who's like just got a head and shoulders shot, and guys fancy me from that. And I'm not doing any sexual stuff because beauty is all about your essence. It's all about your aura. It's all about your charisma. It's all about your essence and being. So therefore, if you have great integrity, great essence, great being, so you're very strong in and of yourself rather than weak, people will be drawn to that. They will see it in your characteristics, in your face, in your hair, in the way you stand. You know, you'll just be elegant and beautiful in and of your own right. I don't wear makeup. You might have noticed I hardly ever wear makeup, you know? I didn't even notice that I'm not wearing makeup because I don't wear it. It's just normal for me. I wear a bit sometimes to go out clubbing, which I can't do at the moment, you know? But yeah, so I'm like a girl who doesn't wear makeup anyway, but lots of guys tend to like my photographs more when I don't wear makeup than when I do. So it's very, very interesting. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to enlighten you as to what really is a good guy, what really is a strong guy. And, you know, and you need a guy who's really sure of himself and what he wants. Because if you've not got a guy who's really sure of himself and what he wants, he will literally have anything and everything coming in his path and be after every woman. Do you know what I mean? Or guy if he's into guys. You know, you need a guy who knows exactly what he wants in his life. And he wants to make you a part of his life permanently. He knows that. You know, he's not wishy-washy like, oh, maybe I want to be in a relationship with you. Maybe I don't. Maybe you're the love of my life. Maybe you're not. Maybe it might be good to be in a relationship with you. Maybe it not. Do you know what I mean? This is a type of wishy-washy guy that you don't need in your life in a romantic way, right? This type of person isn't any good to be in a relationship with. If they don't know what the hell they want, they are going to confuse the hell out of you, and you're going to have a rocky ride. Years ago, I used to think that my insecurity was down to myself because I used to, not self-love, but I actually know a lot of the time in my past now, it was the people that I was with, the guys I was with, wasn't creating the security I need in a relationship because they weren't strong morally, ethically, kindly, sensitive, empathetically. They didn't have that integrity. They weren't boundary driven, I need a guy who's very, very strong, very, very boundary driven. Thanks for the thumbs up. Lots of love. Very, very boundary driven, knows what he wants in life and knows what he wants in terms of like pretty much his overall life, and he's strong enough within himself to not need 20, 30, 40 women to oogle over him, right? Of course, there's going to be people that will fancy him. There's loads of guys that fancy me. But just because they fancy me doesn't mean to say that I'm going to end up in a relationship with them or want to be with them because I'm very strong in what I want and what I don't want, And that's what makes a strong guy, not how many muscles he's got. It's how much integrity he's got, how much he can be in his feminine essence, how much he can open his heart to the person, how much intelligence he has, how much other stuff he has going on in his life, not just the looks. Do you know what I mean? It's very important. You don't want to get into a relationship with someone where they just look good, but they've got no, they're not very intelligent. They've got nothing really going on in their life. They're not developing and growing themselves, because if they don't develop and grow themselves, then they're not going to develop and grow themselves in the relationship with you. Do you see what I mean? Open his heart. That's overrated. A guy should open his heart. You don't want a guy whose heart's closed. You want a guy whose heart is very open, not to every single woman, but to open to the right person to be in a relationship with. So yeah, you want to. I mean, obviously, you don't. I don't want a guy. Oh no, not you. But when I was in this video. You always come part way through, Eddie. I'd said a lot of what I needed to say. But I was basically saying that there's this guy on Mingle who's who's not strong guy. He's very weak in the sense that basically he's deactivated his account now because basically I said that I'm looking for a strong guy and he's not strong. He goes, "Oh, I'm very strong," but it was all to do with physical, to do with muscles with him. It wasn't to do. I said that I was looking. Oh, I've already read it out anyway. But I thought it's funny that he's deactivated his account pretty much straight away. Yeah. So I don't know where it's gone now. So yeah, this is the guy. So yeah, he's taken all these photographs off. He cut his internet balls off, so he left. Eddie, can I get a thumbs up for that one? Yeah, I basically told him how it was. I could see through it. So I have said it before, but just in case for anyone else who's watching who came part way through this chat like Eddie did, I said that I'm not looking. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for a relationship involving sex. And I like a talkative and strong guy, so you wouldn't be suitable for me. But thanks for stopping by my profile. There are lots of very sexual women on here for you, though, so you shouldn't have a problem finding one and get all the sex you need. Good luck. And then he said, "I'm strong." And then I said, "I'm looking for an emotional, sensitive and boundary-driven strong guy with strong integrity and morals, not some guy who's physically strong on the outside only." I saw through that. And he's like, "Oh, my bad." And then he literally deleted his profile. Deactivate it because I called him out, because he's clearly a weak and insecure guy. If you have to say you are strong, you are not. Yeah, I mean, he didn't well, yeah, he just said he was strong then, didn't he? But yeah, so in his pictures it was all about lifting his top off. I've got a six-pack, I'm so muscly, look at me. Like he wasn't a person that was completely drawn to his dick like loads of guys are, right? So he wasn't pointing to that. It was all to do with the chest and the muscles he got and how handsome he looked, basically, and how. But on his, I was saying earlier on this video, overcompensation, exactly. You've hit the nail on the head, Eddie. Overcompensation for a very weak and insecure guy. Because when a guy's just flaunting all his body like that, and that's basically all he's got to give a woman, because he said, law number 4, speak as little as possible. Which means he's going to be no good for a woman to be in a relationship with. He doesn't want to talk much. He just wants to probably FCUK her. Do you know what I mean? Or not bother doing much. Just look like a pretty boy on her arm with probably a babe type of girl. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, that type of guy is not going to be good for a guy, for any person, male, female, or whatever gender, to be in a relationship with. Do you know what I mean? He's just not. So that's why I wanted to come on here and say that, because, you know, there's a lot of traditional stereotypes around guys where guys need to be this really macho man, but it's not true. Guys need to have masculine essence, but also feminine traits as well. They need to be able to be sympathetic and empathetic and sensitive, and these are like more feminine traits, you know. If a guy hasn't got those, if he can't open his heart to the woman he loves and express himself and communicate on a two-way conversation, like you're touching his heart, you can't get that deep soulmate connection. It ends up being more of an artificial connection where you can't really understand that person on a deep emotional level because they're just putting barricades and blocks up, you know? Gotta be like a yin-yang symbol. Yes, Eddie, yes. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. The guy should have some feminine traits, the female should have some masculine traits. Obviously, there's a lot of asexuals that don't have, you know, they're gender fluid or agender or trans or non-binary. So I'm not saying it to like offend anyone. I'm just saying in traditional terms of masculine, feminine, male, female, this is, you know, you've got to have, but it doesn't matter whatever gender you are. Basically, I'm saying whatever gender you are, you should have both masculine traits and feminine traits to come together. This is how two people understand each other, men and women, or whatever gender you are, but masculine and feminine understand each other. Exactly, you've got to find a balance. But this is what a lot of dating coaches don't teach. They seem to focus on more of the man being in his masculine all the time, or more than the women being in their feminine all the time. And that doesn't work. There's one really good dating coach I watch. He's good as well because he knows I'm asexual, because I was on a live stream and he even said, oh, I'd be interested to know about more about how asexuality is with dating. So he's a really good guy, and he does actually teach more of this type of thing. And he's got some like other relationship and dating coaches that he partners up with. And one of the guys said it in there that he met like this woman of his dreams or whatever, one of his coach friends, but he wasn't. There was something wrong in the relationship, and that was because the woman basically made him aware that he needs to have some femininity about him. It's no good for him just being his masculine essence all the time, because she can't connect to him emotionally. She can't get close enough to him. Do you know what I mean? And he didn't realise, and so he had to learn as a adult male to actually activate his feminine qualities, basically bring out the femininity in him. And that was a bit scary for him. He kind of admitted that. He's like, I'm not used to this, but she's right. She's really right. I have to be able to do this to be the sympathetic, empathetic, sensitive guy she needs me to be, so I can connect with her on a deep emotional level. That's why, you know, I think asexuals do tend to be, because asexuals love for a deep emotional connection. I think if you have a relationship with an asexual person, you're more likely to get that if obviously, you know, you're that type of person as well, want that type of relationship as well. Do you know what I mean? Because asexuals tend to love for a deep emotional connection, because the physical stuff isn't the same for us as it is for sexuals, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to say, because I want to bust through these stereotypes and myths of like guys should be this macho guy all the time. I cry at some movies. Does that count? Yes, I do. If it's yes, I'll say yes. Yes. I guess it depends what I was going to say. It depends what the movie is, but yes, I would say it does, because yeah, I know some guys who are masculine and macho guys, and they don't do stuff like that. So yes, But there is there's a difference between macho and masculine, which I didn't really realize. A macho guy is someone who really likes to show off in front of his mates. It's like mate down the pub, looking at other women, Mr. Hard Nut. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of like macho. Whereas a proper masculine guy will be able to be the leader in the relationship. Sometimes will be able to step up to the plate. Will be able to help his woman, guide his woman. Or obviously if he likes another gender, whatever gender it is, he'll be able to lead more. Obviously if you're a person who's non-binary, you don't identify as male or female, this is when it gets interesting for you. But you can see probably by being non-binary how much this does actually work, because you've probably got both masculine and feminine traits in you. Do you know what I mean? So you probably get on you probably get on really well with both genders, actually. Mr. Machismo. I can't even pronounce that. But yeah, I don't like macho guys. I never have. That's why I always went against masculine guys. I prefer guys who've got some feminine traits, but I realised that it's not really the masculine so much that's a problem. It's the macho that's a problem. So a guy who's got masculine traits is not, a real guy who's got masculine traits. So a macho guys tend to be a player more, be with the guys more, not care about his woman that much, more centered and focused on himself, and is kind of like looks and everything like that. A masculine guy is a guy who wants to protect his woman. I'm talking very gender stereotypically here in the sense of like masculine, feminine. I know I am to a certain extent, so I do apologize if I'm offending you, and I don't mean to. I'm just trying to say masculine and feminine in terms of male and female predominantly, because obviously that's what the world talks about and knows the most. You know what I mean? But obviously, that's why, I personally do still get attracted to some guys who have some feminine traits, but a lot of the time they aren't strong enough for me. The guys that I get attracted to with feminine traits are too feminine. They don't have any masculine, like as in take charge of the situation and know what they want and really be their true authentic self. They're not strong enough for me. So I need a guy who's masculine but got some feminine traits, but the masculine is there leading sometimes, and they're taking responsibility for his girl. Do you know what I mean? And the relationship, and being like open about his relationship with me. It's very important. I tried it all in the man ways. Oh, bless you. I think you're probably a better person now, aren't you, Eddie? I think you're probably a better person now. I mean, I didn't know you back then, but from what you said, do you know what I mean? I think you're easy to talk to, aren't you? So I think, I like to think so. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I like the fact that you're very real. You come on here, and I know you're not asexual, so, and I know they give sexual guys a hard time sometimes. But yeah, but I do say that you're very good. Being able to be with an asexual with no sex ever is really, really exceptionally awesome. And I like the fact that you do tell that you weren't a good guy before, but you've improved a lot. And I think a lot of guys could learn from that. I think it's while we're talking about guys. You keep clubbing us. I don't know what to say. Yeah, but I kind of club all bad people, don't I? Not just guys. Yeah, but I do still kiss sexual guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, if a sexual guy loved kissing and didn't need sex ever in his life and was a strong guy with other women and didn't need another woman, it'd be different. Do you know what I mean? But they're few and far between, these type of sexual guys. Sexual guys need sex like they need water to drink, usually. I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying the majority of the sexual guys, they need it like a drink of water as much as possible. Do you know what I mean? They need to keep the fluids coming, if you pardon the sexual pun there. So yeah, it's very difficult. But I do kiss sexual guys in clubs and stuff. I love kissing. With me, I find it very difficult because I'm so into kissing, and most asexual guys are just not into kissing. In fact, I'm more into kissing than most sexual guys, to be honest. I'm more into kissing than most people I know. It's like, I don't like sex whatsoever, but I do crave kissing. At the moment, I'm like, oh man, I just want to kiss. It's like, and I can't. You can't kiss anyone. Well, I have that urge, but one I can. Well, I have that urge, but one I cannot, and two, if I was single, it would be too much work to find a girl for bed fun. Yeah, but bed fun gets boring anyway, doesn't it? After a while. Yeah. I just think, it's like on this mingle2.com site, most of them are really sexual on there, sadly. Mind you, there's this guy that seems to have just come on there. He says he hasn't been on the app very long. But, a lot of them say that type, you don't know what to believe really. But yeah, I just think it's very, very important to find someone who's strong and they've got both masculine and feminine traits and they're very strong in their boundaries. I think that's one of the most important things. The amount of people I know that are in relationships and they're after or interested in other people. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, Eddie, if you watch my stream or the replay. The guy that just wanted to be friends with me on Facebook. The reason why is because he's in love with another woman that's now married to someone else, and it's kind of like, oh, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I said, oh, that's why you're looking for just friendship, then. It's like, yeah, so he can tell me all about her, basically. It's like, well, you had your chance and now she's married to someone else. But I said to him, you're not going to find someone suitable to be in your heart if your heart belongs to another, are you? But I don't think he cares. I just think all he cares about is still having her in his life all the time, even though he's not married to her. So messaging each other, video chatting with each other, sending each other photographs, and it's kind of like, well, I'm actually really interested in a relationship in the long term with someone. Do you know what I mean? Not really interested in someone who talks about their ex all the time. Eddie, I was hyper the other night and I was talking to my love and I said, oh, baby, you know what would happen if we get into bed? I said we would just sleep because all my energy is gone. And she laughed. Sorry, that's really funny. Oh, Eddie, that's so funny. Because all my energy is gone and she laughed. That is very, very funny. The thing with me is I'm very hyper and I have a lot of energy where kissing is concerned. So the guy I was briefly in a relationship with last year, I was kissing him for 3 hours. I only know this because I happened to look at the clock and oh, it's that time in the morning. And I'm still kissing. Better let him go to sleep. But I couldn't sleep. I was bored. I'm like, I want to get up. So I started getting up and doing some work. I wasn't very happy about that. But I did say I don't sleep very well anyway. I don't go to bed early. So yeah, that is really, really funny. Really, really funny. So yeah, that's very, very important. But yeah, I think it's important to find someone who you gel with very well, who you can talk to about anything and everything, who you're not scared to talk to. A guy who's a really good guy, not a weak or insecure guy, he'll be strong enough to be able to accept the truth, to be able to love you in your essence of who you truly are. Well, even any type of person, if they're a good person, will be able to be highly communicative, and be able to chat about anything and everything and be able to like Eddie saying those type of jokes to his women. It's funny, you should be making each other laugh and you should be enjoying each other's company, and it should be about, loving life together and, feeling the wonder and excitement of life itself, and being able to be strong enough to know that you don't need 50 people to say how good looking you are. You're quite happy with your looks yourself. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the people that are on, for example, this mingle2.com, there are some genuine people on here. There are some people that this guy seems to really want a serious relationship, the one that's just started messaging me. But they are few and far between on this site. But there are some genuine people out there, and you just need to find the right one. And you need to find one that's strong in and of themselves. You don't want to be with a person who's there going around flirting and chatting up multiple people. It's just you need to be able to know that when you're around them, you can trust them with other people. Like I said, the amount of people I know that they're hankering after other people that are already in relationships with other people. They're going behind their wife's back and they're messaging other women and they're getting, kissing, sending videos, trying to video chat with other women. It's like, come on. If you're really this type of guy, then just don't get married. Just stay single and say, hey, I'm a single player. I just want a woman who's a player as well, and then play together. Do you know what I mean? Rather than be doing stuff behind people's backs. It's just disgusting. It's not being true to who you are, and it's not fair on the other person. I get sick of it, to be quite honest. I mean, loads of women might love the attention, but it just annoys me if it's a married man or a guy that's got a woman, or it annoys me that a lot of guys don't even see what's in front of their noses. They're so busy looking around at other women that they don't take care of the woman in front of them. It's like, love the one you're with or don't bother. Do you know what I mean? I think if they put so much more time, energy and effort into the relationship they've already got, then they would have much better relationship. Instead, they rather use that time to go around chatting up other women. Eddie, I was the other man in a few marriages. Oh my God. Shocking. I don't get that much shocked by anything anymore, to be honest. I've heard it all pretty much. But yeah, you're the other man in a few marriages. That is kind of crazy. I know women like that who've been the other woman. I just wouldn't do that because I think it's basically encouraging people to have affairs. Do you know what I mean? Like, both people are just as bad. The person that's cheating on the married person, the person who's doing the cheating with them. Do you know what I mean? But I know lots of women. I know most women I know have been at some point in a relationship or seeing or having sex with a person who's a guy who's in another relationship with someone else. That's why I find it very, very hard to trust lots of guys. Very difficult to trust them because I've mostly had guy friends in my life rather than females, so I know what guys like. I think guys make great friends, but not to be in a relationship with most of the time. And it's always military wives. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, it's because a guy goes off, isn't it? Yeah. See, I say I've never. There was two guys I was interested in at one point, both. Well, I liked them both at the same time. Well, I had love feelings for two guys, but that was because I ended one relationship, ended up being with another person that wasn't really good for me and thought I should be with the other person. But in the end, neither were any good. But yeah, so I was really careful because it was getting a bit triangular-y. Like, I'm like, I don't want to end up in a love triangle. I've got to make my mind up. I'm having this person or that person, not end up in triangle. I've been in nearly a triangle twice, nearly. But I don't do that type of thing. I don't believe in two timing. So I'm like, I'll end it with you, be with you. I'm not going to be with two people at the same time. It's not right. Do you know what I mean? Morally, really. A lot of wives swapping in the military, I hear. Oh, I have no idea. I'm not interested in military guys. I have no interest in military guys. I don't like muscly guys. I like skinny guys. Like what other people, a lot of women, they like muscles. I really love skinny guys. Guys who are athletic. Guys who have pretty much really soft, gentle skin and no muscles. I don't need a guy. I don't mind if he's toned a little bit on his arms, but I don't like guys who've got six pack. I don't see why women are attracted to that. To me, it's like an armadillo. I mean, seriously, I can't cuddle an armadillo. It's like having like rib things. Do you know what I mean? It's just like hard. I don't think there's any warmth in that. I like guys who are skinny, who are thin, beautiful soft skin, who have baby face. I don't really like facial hair either. I prefer a guy without facial hair, short dark hair, someone who I can talk to and be my bestest friend. Not some guy who's muscly and macho. It's just like, how can I hug and cuddle that thing? And especially if I like kissing on top, it like kind of hurts if they got ribs. Or even him on top of me. It's like, I don't want to feel your ribs. I want to feel some cute, cuddly, soft skin. I like a girl that's a warrior that will fight side by side with me against anything that will come. Yeah, that's really nice, Eddie. That's very, very nice. I agree. That's the type of girl that you want. It's good. I think that's really, really good. attitude to have. I think everyone should have that type of attitude. I like a guy who's very strong. I need a really strong guy for me, one that's very happy and comfortable with me being asexual as well. You have this. Yeah, your girl is very nice, isn't she? Obviously, I've only met her that once, but I can tell just by the way you talk about her that she's lovely. And obviously, she was nice when I saw her on in the chat once. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you've got that. It's really positive, because that's like a good foundation for a long-lasting, loving, healthy, happy relationship. I mean, looks can fade, things can change. You can't always be passionate and like I love kissing, right? But I can't be, even though I'd love to kiss like loads, I can't kiss 24/7, 365 days a year, although I wouldn't mind it. But oh, dearie me. Ah. Yes, actually, I'm quite up for that. But moving on. But yeah, like there's going to be some minutes when I can't actually kiss, and there's going to be some times when I just want to talk. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's always physical all the time, then it kind of like lacks some intelligence luster. I need intelligent conversation. Do you know what I mean? Even though I love kissing, I'm much more excited kissing a guy who's intelligently having conversation with me than just some guy who's kissing me. All that lip balm sales will be bad on your wallet. Lip balm? I don't use that much lip balm. I do have some Nivea stuff that I put on sometimes. But as I'm not kissing much at the moment, I don't really need to worry about that. Yes. I'm very kissing frustrated at the moment because I'm indoors not being able to kiss. Well, all that kissing. I know. But don't forget, most of it's with the tongue, not the lips. I have to clean my tongue more. Oh man, the good old kissing days. I miss them already. I was singing today, I just want to go out clubbing and have a nice kiss. Oh man. I don't really need a relationship. I just miss the kissing. But obviously, if the right Indian guy walked into my life and liked kissing as much as I do, then it'd be fine. If he didn't need marriage and kids. Mouth slugs. Actually, snails used to be one of my favourite pets when I was a kid. I'm going completely off on a different topic now. So when I was a kid, in birth certificate age, I used to have snails as pets. Like I had a bird box which was open, it had a hole in it. And instead of birds going there, I used to put snails in there and they could walk in and out. And I used to one time, which is going to be very strange for people, I sat in a paddling pool full of snails and I loved them. I loved the snails. I absolutely love snails. So yeah, when you say mouse slugs, it doesn't really put me off. But I'm not so keen on slugs. But slugs are basically snails without a shell, really, aren't they? But they don't look as handsome. I think snails are far more handsome with their little antennae and their little shell. Going, hello, Sandra, I like you. I do like snails, but the big the big snails, the actual big huge ones, they're a bit much for me. I think they're a bit too big. I prefer garden snails. Oh man, we do talk about some stuff on this channel. It's so funny. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think you'll put me off kissing. I might be put off by like 1 minute, and that'll be about it. I really am a bit of a kissing addict. I feel like I want to kiss all the time at the moment. It's really bad. I'm like, I've got no one to kiss apart from myself, which is okay to a certain extent, but after a while it's a bit like, doesn't have exactly the same effect. There's only so much you can kiss yourself, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it gets a bit annoying. And like, I wasn't gonna go on Mingle 2 for a bit again, but I thought, oh well, I'm in a romantic mood. So yeah. I thought I'm in a romantic mood, and I wanted to see if there was any Indian guys, and I did actually get to talk to an Indian guy, but as I said earlier, he's going back to his country, so that's no good. But it was nice to actually have a quick little conversation with an Indian guy in this country. That I find a lot of the Indian guys that I meet, they are actually just over here for study. A lot of them invest in a kissing machine. I am the kissing machine, Eddie. Oh, dearie me. My dad years ago said about, oh, you should have a kissing booth. It's not a bad idea, but I mean, there's only I can only kiss certain guys. I can't kiss everyone. I can only kiss young guys I'm highly aesthetically attracted to, and wouldn't by being in a relationship with, but half of them are no good for me. So I just think, don't bother with the relationship. Just have the kissing and go. Yeah, I'm a very unique asexual. I find it very difficult. It is really like being stuck, because it's like I don't like sex. I don't want it. I don't need it. It's an app device for the cell phone. Oh yeah, I don't want to kiss my cell phone. That's germy. Ugh. I don't want to kiss my cell phone. Oh, if I'm kissing, I want to kiss a real person. I did think about having a robotic boyfriend in the future, but like, what would his lips be made of? That would be weird. I wouldn't want them to be made of real human because that'd be freaking out because it'd be a dead person or some weird stuff that someone's done to someone. And if it was like a metal mouth, that would be weird. If it was latex, I don't know if I'd be allergic to it because I'm a bit allergic to latex. Silicone lips, maybe, but it's not the same thing, is it? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so I thought about being with a robotic boyfriend in the future. One that's Indian might be good. But then I can just go clubbing and have a kiss, and then he can go back to his place and I can go back to mine and carry on with my life. I don't have to boot him up or plug him in. But then a robot's probably a lot better in lots of ways. You don't have to worry, do you? But then he could malfunction and he could go off some other robot. That's no good, is it? Think of the charging. The what? The charging bill. Oh yeah, what with the electricity? It cost a lot, but he might be solar powered. But I'd have to stick him outside. Then I don't have a garden. My housemates have a garden, but I'm not allowed to just use it. You know what I mean? I don't pay for it. It's in with their rent, so I can't be in their garden. So I'd have to stick him. I'd have to stick his head near the window. He'd have to be on top of my bed all the time. And what if he malfunctions in the middle of the night and decides to eat me instead of kiss me? I like kissing, but I don't want to be eaten by a robot. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I can't do nothing but laugh tonight. It's good. It's good because I've had some stressful days, I tell you. And stressful days recently, yeah. So it's good. But yes. Or the voltage when you kiss it and it malfunctions. Oh, that's more like it, Eddie. Yes, because when I kiss a human, within the first 5 minutes, a guy usually wants sex with me if they're not asexual. And I haven't actually had a date in person with an asexual yet and kissed an asexual person. So yeah, it tends to be like only sexual guys I've kissed. And yeah, so I wouldn't surprise me. Because like they all want sex with me. I'm like, I just want the kissing. I don't want sex. I can kiss for hours, but I just don't want the sex. It is frustrating. I'm not sexy frustrated. I'm kissing frustrated. And it's frustrating that I love kissing so much. And the people that I kiss usually love sex. And it's like, why do they always go together? Like always, people like see kissing as a prequel to sex. Oh, let's put them in the mood for sex by kissing. The mood that I want to be in is the kissing mood, not the sex mood. Starts dry humping and breaks your pelvis. Oh, that's horrible. Can't trust these robots. Oh no, I wouldn't want that. I actually know someone who dislocated their pelvis. It's not nice. It's really bad. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to. That's horrible. You've really put me off robots now, Eddie, for life. Having a robotic boyfriend, I'm like, no. I don't want any guy breaking me. Thank you. I don't want. My body's really precious to me. I love my body, and I don't want any guy doing anything to me like that. It's horrible. I was having a laugh, and now I feel like deflated. I feel like the robot's got all its strings pulled out. Or that's a puppet, isn't it? Another one saved. Another one. What? Another robot saved, or another person saved? Me saved, or the robot? I don't know which one you mean. Oh my lord. Well, I'll take it that you were saving me, seeing as it was a robot you're talking about. Person. Oh, that's good. Yes, you've done a good job then. Yeah. But yeah, so I find it very difficult, because that's what I mean. If I do get talking about a strong guy on this live stream, if I ever end up being in a relationship with a sexual guy, I need a really, 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 really strong sexual guy for me, who literally can live without sex and not go off with another woman and not have sex with other women while in a relationship with him, and actually be true to me still and be able to kiss me for long periods of time without sex, because I can't actually be in a relationship without lots of kissing. That's why although I don't want sex myself, I do understand why some people love sex, because they need it in a relationship, because I need kissing in a relationship. I couldn't be in a relationship without kissing, because I love kissing. It's like my favourite hobby to do with my boyfriend, if I had one. It's my favourite hobby anyway, I think. No, not quite. Writing's my favourite hobby. Writing's my passion, the first love of my life. I can live without kissing, but I can't actually live without writing in my life. I can't live without kissing forever, though. Do you know what I mean? But writing's my most prominent passion in my life. Asexuality second, kissing's third, but maybe not all the time. I do need kissing. What I'm trying to say is I do need kissing in a relationship. So I do understand why some sexuals need sex in a relationship, because it's a need that they need of the sex itself sometimes. Whereas I do need kissing because I just love kissing so much. I have a very big passionate side to me, and I like to be able to express that freely with a guy, the right guy. Do you know what I mean? And not be like a cooped up animal in that way, not being able to express myself kissing wise. But I those like to do it with my clothes on, which again is very difficult for sexuals a lot of the time. So yeah, I think if you're an asexual like me who doesn't fit into a complete normal, if there's any word normal, because it doesn't really exist, it's a fallacy, asexual box, I feel a bit stuck. I'm just like, I don't meet many people who are asexual like me. Not that I'm going to anyway, but you know what I mean? In terms of kissing, I just don't. Most people that I talk to are asexual. They're not really into kissing. They may be like a little bit of pecking, tiny little bits of kissing. I read the other day an article that was about, and it had about kissing in it. It said, oh, the optimum kissing time is 7 seconds. It was. I'm like, 7 seconds. That would just be like my lips warming up. 7 seconds is nothing. I'm like, how can you have an optimum kissing time for 7 seconds? And like, my God, by the time you've done it, it's just over, isn't it? By the time you've puckered up, you may as well not bother. 7 seconds. I'm like, are you insane? Who wrote this stupid article? But apparently, yes, it was some person who wrote that 7 seconds is the optimum time for kissing. I'm like, well, it's not my optimum time for kissing. More like 7 hours. Well, I've gone 3 so far. I think that's my 3's about right for me. Between 1 and 3 hours. It depends. I just like kissing anywhere, everywhere. I just love kissing. In case you didn't already know that. Anything above 7 seconds is a crime. Oh, right. I'm being really bad girl then. Oh, well, lots of guys like naughty girls. They like them to commit crimes. This is how I'm asexually naughty. Not sexually naughty, but asexually naughty, because I love kissing and sitting on a guy's lap to kiss, which apparently sexual guys find very naughty. And they're like, okay, each to their own. I'm just sitting and enjoying kissing. If you want to think it's naughty, that's up to you. But I'm always naughty, but it's naughty but nice. But yeah, 7 seconds. I'm like, blimmin' heck, that's just so like short. How can anyone really connect physically that much in 7 seconds if they love kissing? Obviously, some people don't like kissing. I don't think a person should be kissing lots if they don't like it. It's in the way you focus the laser. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Eddie. Were you talking about me being sat on a guy's lap kissing him? Or were you talking about the laser kissers and being precise with kissing all the time? They make up too many new rules for SHIT. Yeah, I mean, I just saw this article and I was like, oh, right, okay, 7 seconds. I don't think that's enough personally, but I mean, some asexuals might think that's far too much. No laser, as in my naughtiness. I got very confused about the laser thing then. I got very confused. But yeah, I just like yeah, I mean if it like I said, if I was with a sexual guy, you'd need to be very, very strong for me. Because I mean, even if I do ever kiss sexual guys now, I've got to be very careful, you know, they've got to be strong enough to not take it too far. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, but I'm very strong in myself. I'm very boundary, like don't touch there, don't touch there, don't touch there. Which some sexuals find highly hilarious, but with me it's just like, well, it's the way it is, mate. Don't like it, go. I can get another guy to kiss. But you know, it's not very difficult, is it? What makes me laugh is when there's all these people going, "Oh, it's so hard to get sex. I haven't had sex for days or weeks." I'm like, "Well, no, it's not hard to get sex. It's very, very easy to get sex. I get offered it all the time, regularly, every week, pretty much. Sometimes multiple days a week from guys interested in a sexual relationship with me. You know, and it's like, here we go again. Strength takes time in most of us. Yeah, I think obviously there's different types of strength. Like I have to have strength, like not to kiss guys sometimes. You know what I mean? I have to strength not to kiss at the moment. Other people, it's like I can't kiss. I'm not allowed to. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, strength is different, isn't it? That you can have strength of the mind. I like a guy's got strong mind and develop himself as well and grow himself. A girl can point to her lady part and grunt at a guy. That's how easy they can get it. A guy and grunt and grunt at a guy. That's how easy they can get it. I think it doesn't even need any grunting, does it, Eddie? Like just, it needs no grunt. A fella cannot do that. Oh, a fella cannot do that. Well, he could. He could do that. A fella could easily grunt at his erection. Do you know what I mean? Hard for guys to get sex these days. It's very easy for guys to get sex these days. Not hard at all. These days, I don't think so, Eddie. It's very, very easy for guys to get sex these days. I don't. We agree on a lot of things, but I don't agree on that. It's very, very easy for guys to get sex these days. Very, very easy. It's always been easy for guys to get sex. All they have to do is go to a club. There's quite a lot of women, you know, like I've had female friends, even though I'm not into sex. I've had female friends and they love having sex. They like meeting guys and having sex in the past. They're is both settled down now. But do you know what I mean? They well, even another girl I know, 3 women I know were like that, you know? Club, spend cash and hope. Well, in I just think it's so easy for guys to get sex from it's a dice roll. Well, I think that the thing is guys who are into having sex need to find other people who are into having sex as much as them, and then it's not difficult, is it? Do you know what I mean? There are women out there that do enjoy sex. I personally don't, but there are a lot of women that do like sex out there. A lot of women that do have sex, you know. There are also women that use guys for their money as well. As well. But you know, like the guy I dated, the heterosexual guy I dated in 2017, goodness knows why I did that, but I did. He used to pay. He told me, he said, I take women for their meal and I have sex with them afterwards. That's basically what he did with all it, and he did it regularly before he met me. So yeah, he didn't find it difficult, but they never carried on seeing him, which I know why. I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. But he told me, he said, I haven't done much kissing. Don't really know how to kiss. I had to teach him how to kiss because all he was used to is taking women for meals, paying for their food, then having sex with them afterwards. So there you go. But you know, again, that's not a good guy. That's a really bad guy. You know, that's the trouble. I get highly sexual guys interested in me, which isn't very good because you know they're not that type of guy who just goes and pays for a woman's meal to have sex. It's just not a strong guy. You know, he wasn't a strong guy actually. He wasn't strong. He was quite a weak guy. So you know, he's not morally good. You know, and he used to like go away on holiday with his mother and sleep in the same room as her. That was weird. I found that very, very weird. There's some weird stuff going on with people these days. Yeah, so he was like, and he reckoned that everyone should have implants in their brain. Everyone, every human. That was weird. That's not a strong guy. That's a guy who he actually wanted his mind to be basically controlled by an implant chip to make him like superhuman or whatever. And it's like, well, that's not a strong guy, is it? If you're not strong enough in your own self to know your own mind and to be intelligent and to develop and grow yourself, that's not a strong guy. He just wants to stick a chip in his brain. Yeah, it's and basically thought the whole human race should do that, not just him, I might add. So yeah, I was glad he was an actual psycho, real one. So yeah, that guy wasn't good. But yeah, so you know, you really need to be looking for someone who's really, really strong. If you're a person watching this who's looking for a guy, you need to make sure you've got a guy who's strong in his mind, not just strong physically. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning of this video. There are going to be lots of guys who prance around having the most muscly bodies, working out like 6 or 7 days in a gym. But when it comes to a lot of those guys, a lot of them are pretty boys that just want to look nice for women, and they don't have actually a lot of brains, and they don't want to grow and develop themselves into better people morally, ethically, intelligently. Do you know what I mean? That is what I guess that is why I get quite attracted to Indian guys quite a bit as well. They seem to be very intelligent in their career and stuff like that. They seem to be very creative, very intelligent, a lot of them. So I guess that appeals to me quite a bit. So yeah. But yeah, so make sure that you look for good quality traits in people. If you're looking for a guy, particularly make sure that the guy's strong, knows his own mind, has strong boundaries with other women or guys if he's into guys as well, and who, you know, has some integrity and wants to grow and develop himself. I said this before, you know, because if a guy doesn't want to grow and develop himself and change, it's going to be no good to be in a relationship with that type of person, because it means that any time you approach him about some issue you've got in the relationship you both need to work on together, he's not going to want to know. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I said at the beginning of this video that the guy that, you know, he said, oh, law number 4, speak as little as possible. That's what that means, basically. Don't set any problems out in the relationship, which isn't good. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to conclude the video tonight because I think I've been chatting for long enough. It's nice to talk to you, Eddie. Thanks for making me laugh. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, queries about anything in this video, in the meantime, please put them in the comments below the description. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe below right here, right now, and hit that bell icon, that little bell, so you get notified of every time I go live right now, I post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate the thumbs up love. And I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Thank you so much, Eddie. Lots of love to you for being on this channel and awesome. I really appreciate you being here as always. Thank you to everyone else who's been watching as well. And I'll see you on the next stream or video, most likely another live stream soon. Take care, Eddie. Night, night, and night, everyone. Love to all, and brace your quirky on each other's. Bye.